The Perks of Being a Wallflower, written by Stephen Chbosky. Character Development Comparisons. Summary. Charlie is starting his freshman year of high school as an introvert and someone who doesn't have any friends, after his best friend Michael committed suicide. He's socially awkward and watches what goes on around him silently, hence being a wallflower, defined as a shy or awkward person that does not fit in. He meets two step-siblings, Sam and Patrick, who are both seniors. They quickly develop a close relationship and become best friends, and Patrick and Sam become his mentors. Charlie's AP literature teacher quickly recognizes his talent and his amazing writing abilities and finds ways to keep pushing Charlie to see his potential. The story shows Charlie's coming-of-age journey where he learns a lot about the people around him and himself. However, when his sister Sam and Patrick all head off to college, he must learn to adapt on his own and participate socially. In the book, Charlie is extremely shy and introverted in the beginning. In the movie, Charlie is somewhat introverted and more awkward than shy. Charlie's character is much more dynamic from beginning to end of the book. He discovers himself and his talents with the help of his friends and teachers. His teacher gives him extra books to write essays on. Charlie already has a passion for writing, shown when his friend Sam gives him a typewriter. Patrick and Sam and Charlie use drugs somewhat heavily, and their emotions are definitely influenced by this. There is no use or mention of drugs in the movie with any characters. Charlie is experiencing issues mentally ever since his Aunt Helen's death and sees a psychiatrist regularly. Charlie's emotions in regards to his Aunt Helen's death are bottled up within him for a long time until the end, where he's on the verge of suicide and begins to see a psychiatrist after. A big part of Charlie's life is getting his driver's license. It shows him growing up and gaining freedom. This doesn't happen in the movie. There is no concentration or anything at all shown in relation to Charlie's driving. Charlie's older sister Candace experiences being in multiple toxic relationships. She becomes pregnant and decides to have an abortion. Candace is in one relationship which she leaves and she doesn't become pregnant or have an abortion. Charlie is overall depressed and affected by his Aunt Helen's death, as demonstrated by the mood which his character gives off and the tone in which he speaks. Charlie is somewhat happy at times, and not much of a change in his emotions until the end. His personality is not as dynamic from start to finish. Charlie and his sister gradually become closer as the book progresses. While in the movie, Charlie's relationship with his sister isn't really developing or shown as often. I skipped my first class ever and went to see Sam and Patrick outside. Charlie, page 101. Can I have a cigarette? I said. I just couldn't bring myself to say gum smoke. Not for my first one. I just couldn't. Charlie, page 101. Dear friend, a few days ago I went to see Bob to buy more pot. I should probably say that I keep forgetting Bob doesn't go to school with us. Charlie, page 145. These are some things said by Charlie in the book that show that he falls back on these bad habits he recently developed when encountered with a problem. This clip shows the end of the movie where Sam, Patrick, and Candace have all left for college and Charlie is home alone and breaks down. In the book, this isn't shown. Instead, Charlie ends up saying goodbye to his anonymous friend through a letter in June and then continues the story 2 months later in August, where he says he was released from the hospital after having been there for 2 months. The lack of depth in the character development in the movie fails to show the character's true personality as it is in the book. The development of the characters is somewhat at a standstill in the film as compared to the developing and dynamic personalities of the characters in the novel. This difference is significant to the story overall because it makes the novel better in terms of characters having dynamic personalities. This is important because it shows how characters behave, who they are, how they're affected by the plot, and how they change over time. In this story specifically, Charlie's development is especially important as the novel represents struggles of being a teenager, growing up, coming of age, anxiety, depression, and addiction. So in conclusion, which medium is better? With all that being said, I think that definitely the book is the better medium.